What's going on YouTube? Dan from DNR Sports here, bringing you another video. Today we will be looking at the Los Angeles Chargers. This, in my opinion, let me get this out of the way. This is one of my favorite teams in the league. Probably right behind Green Bay. I have a soft spot for the Chargers. I just like how they were so garbage last year, but so good at the same time. It's just amazing to me. Um, we're going to be taking a look at their depth chart, taking a look at, their fantasy outlook for next year. They got a new coach and everything. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, obviously, we got Justin Herbert, the best quarterback in the NFL. No, just kidding. He's like, in my opinion, probably top 8 to be safe, but I think he could be top 4 by the end of this year. The throws he was making last year were absolutely incredible. This is pretty much Mahomes light to me. This is Mahomes with garbage coaching. That's what it is. Mahomes with garbage coaching. I know he's not obviously Mahomes. Mahomes is fucking different, but the things that he was doing coming in as a rookie straight away, no prep season like Mahomes had, nothing like that. He's like, hey, screw it, you're going in against the Chiefs. They had that game in the bag until coaching fumbled the bag. Anthony Lynn was their coach last year. Anthony Lynn is an absolute idiot. Anthony Lynn needs to never step foot in the Charger facility ever again. The amount of games I watched, it was the Saints game, it was the Tampa game, it was the Chiefs game, all these stud teams where Justin Herbert was leading the team to victory. And then the coach goes, oh, okay, we got to this nice winning position by throwing the ball, by using Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. We got here in a nice way. Let's just run it the rest of the game. We won it. That was a good 2 quarters, guys. Let's just run it the rest of the game. He threw all those games away, all of them away. They were smashing the Saints, and they were just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put a blemish in your record. Here you go. I think it was about 7 or 8 games last year that they lost by 3 points or fewer, or some crazy stat like that, where they just couldn't get wins. They lost to Vegas. It was one of the last 3 games of the season, when Parham caught the touchdown, and apparently his foot was out of bounds, when I'm pretty sure it wasn't out of bounds, but they called it out of bounds, and so they lost when it was like a 1 or 2 point game. Like, they would have won the game. This is the most unlucky, worst coach team I've seen in a while, man. And to be bringing back the roster that they're bringing back is pretty impressive. They haven't lost anything. In fact, they've gained a lot, actually, this offseason. They gained by subtraction with the coaching, but they also gained on the offensive line big time. Corey Linsley coming over from the Packers, as you see here. Last year, PFF's #1 graded center. All Pro, Pro Bowl, just absolute beast in the Packers, my team. And an underrated fact that everyone forgets to mention about this O-line is Brian Bulaga was injured all last year. He missed a lot of the later part of the season. Him coming back is going to be massive. Rashawn Slater, good. Matt Freeler, he's fine. Ode Abushi, I'm not even going to lie. Who the fuck is this? Yeah, that explains it. Drafted in 2013, 5th round pick. Yeah, that's why I've never heard of him. Anyways, the O-line's great. The O-line is solid. That Corey Linsley addition, so big from what they had last year. We're looking at the weapons. Austin Eckler missed most of last year. That most, I say probably about half, but that's so big for them. They have Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly, whoever the fuck that is, Larry Roundtree. I know who that is, but come on, get out of here. He actually provides spark to that offense. I know Justin Jefferson likes to dump it around a lot, which is great for Austin Eckler's fantasy outlook. Not so amazing for overall, team outlook. I mean, it is nice to occasionally dump off to the running back, but when you target him 16 times in a game, that's a slight worry. If it works, it works, but you can't force feed these running backs like Anthony Lynn was doing. This year is the Mike Williams breakout year. I know Keenan Allen is the stud, and I love Keenan Allen. He's a top 5 fantasy receiver for me. If you watch my TikToks, he was number 4 for me. But if they want this offense to really, really explode, Mike Williams has to take that step up. He needs to stop getting injured every other game, and he needs to be a target hog. He needs to be like Mike Evans. He has that build. He's a great contested catcher. He's definitely top 5 in the league for crazy catches. This man puts his body on the line, which is part of the reason he's never in the game. But I saw, as someone who intently watched the Chargers last year, especially their offense, I saw Justin and him not making a great connection at the end of the year, but at least trying to make that connection. I saw him just saying, okay, drop back. I'm going to chuck it over there. go make the play. Some Matt Stafford, Calvin Ridley type stuff. Or Calvin Ridley, what am I on? Calvin Johnson type stuff. I don't know where my mind is, guys. I do not know where my mind is. I'm sorry. Anyways, Jalen Guyton. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Los Angeles Chargers snap share last year. Jalen Guyton had the most snaps last year. Yes, Keenan Allen missed 2 games due to injury, and I guess a 3rd game due to injury. But, like, Jalen Guyton got all these snaps, and he ended with, like, 500 yards. Let's look at this. This man had the most unrealized snap share I've ever seen. 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. Half of this is on, like, couple 75-yard TDs. But that's another piece of his offense that they just haven't unlocked. He's a speedy guy. Let's actually look this up. Jalen Guyton. That's Jalen Guyton. Yeah, 4.44 speed, 6'1", 212, undrafted. Not a stud or anything, but he's fast. They gotta use him to take up the top of the defense. I'm sure that's what they did last year, but like, actually give it to him. Change it up a little bit. It can't just be the Keenan show for 10 yards over the middle, and then the Austin Eckler show for like 5 yards over the middle. They gotta incorporate Justin Herbert's huge arm with Mike Williams' just catching upside and Jalen Guyton's speed. Now they got Jared Cook coming in instead of Hunter Henry. I just think this is like a lateral move, but like they're avoiding paying Hunter, which is nice, but I don't think the talent goes up or down necessarily. Hunter was pretty garbage last year. Like Justin clearly did not have a soft spot for him. He's just like, Keenan's my guy, Eckler's my guy. That's it. Hunter was just the guy you'd play every week in fantasy because he was 3K, and then he somehow disappointed you every single week with like 8 targets, but only catching 4 of them for like 20 yards. Jared Cook's gonna be fine. Darnold Parham Jr. I can't get behind. Everyone wants to draft him in fantasy. I just can't get behind it. Justin Herbert doesn't like his tight ends. That's just a shot in the dark. That's just unnecessary, guys. Don't go for that. Circling back to Keenan Allen, I think for fantasy he's an absolute great pick. I think after Devontae, Tyreek, Stephon, Calvin, I think it's him. I think he's 5th. Maybe D-Hop. You can make that argument. But I think the others are below him after that level. I think he's just too solidified for about 150 targets if he plays every single game. Now the cool thing about this team is Derwin James Jr. comes back. This defense has some firepower. They really do. They have Linval Joseph, Justin Jones, Joey Bosa, Chris Harris Jr., and Derwin James. They lost Casey Hayward. He's in Oakland now. That sucks. But Chris Harris Jr., that's a good pickup. Derwin James, that's a difference maker in this defense. They weren't the same these past 2 years when he's been injured. Joey Bosa being back. I know he played last year. I'm saying being back, but he was injured the year before, I believe. I think this defense has a chance to be solid. I think they're about a middle of the road defense, to be honest. But I think this offense, if they click, which they should click, can make it a top 6-7 offense in the league. If that's the case, yes, it is a very tough division, but I see this team getting about anywhere from like 9 to 11 wins. I'm not going to go overboard and say like 12 to 13. This is a 17-game season. I do see them going positive, though, even in this tough division, guys. Tough to believe, but I think this Chargers team has the firepower under new coaching where they are going to not run the ball when they're in the lead. I know it's the common thing in the league to do to drain the clock, but oh my goodness, Anthony Lynn, you think you notice after the 10th game you lost by 3 when you were up by 10, I digress. Overall, Justin Herbert on my fantasy radar. Austin Eckler, very much on my fantasy radar. Keenan Allen, the most on my fantasy radar. And then the Mike Williams and the Jalen Guytons. I know you don't even want to hear Jalen Guyton, but if you're in like a 14-team league, like best ball, so it's 18 rounds, I'd take a shot on him. Imagine they click. He finally gets a real deep threat. Just saying. Dark horse, sleeper pick, and best ball. Jared Cook, Darnold Palmer Jr., no. That's gonna do it, guys. Just a quick one. Just a little quick overview of Los Angeles. If you guys liked it, leave a like. Comment what team you want next. What other video ideas you guys want. Subscribe if you're new. We're at 120 now. Let's go. Turn post notifications on so you can catch every single upload, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
find the right words. And there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.